Yo, what's up, Whispers? Decided to make a video about my top 5 hardest game series I've ever played. As far as I remember, excuse me if I forget any series, but these are the 5 that I chose. And at number 5, we have Contra, the Contra series. So I've been playing Contra since I was a little kid. I mean a little kid, like probably like 3 or 4 years old, I think. And that series stood out a lot to me. Had the most craziest moments with it as a kid. Had to learn how to beat the game and things like that, which is really difficult as a kid. Just dodging like projectiles all over the place. That's what the Contra series was all about. It's always like about just tons of like projectiles on the screen, and you kind of have to like figure out what to do against them, or like what enemies to kill as fast as possible with your different assortment of weapons and things like that. It made it really fun, and it's also really hard. Even as an adult, I think I would still struggle to play Contra games. I am a really good, like, I play games really well, especially platformers and shooting games like that. So, but they still give me a run for my money regardless. But anyway, moving on. Number four, the Ninja Gaiden series. So Ninja Gaiden. Okay, so this is kind of like, there's like different types of Ninja Gaiden games. There's the SNES games, or NES, I forget. I think it's SNES. I could be wrong. Maybe it is NES. It's NES. Yeah. The NES series, and then of course you have the Xbox, PlayStation series, Steam series, whatever, Sigma and all that. They're both pretty crazy. They're both very difficult, and they're really fun as well. That's what I like about them, and that's why it's on this list. I know it's supposed to be the hardest games, and they are very hard games. If you've ever played them, you know what I mean. They're really difficult. So that's why it's number 4 on this list. They give me a hard time, especially as a kid. The Xbox Ninja Gaiden game, that game was really freaking hard. The enemies were really brutal. You were just getting hit left and right. Like, if you don't know how to like block properly and parry and all that stuff, the game was really difficult. But once you get used to the charge button and like learning how to like parry enemies and stuff, that's when it gets a little bit easier. So it's not as bad once you get used to it. But that's like every video game, right? Well, at number 3, we have the YS series, or YES. YS series, that's a game series that I still struggle to play really well in. The boss fights are ridiculous in YS. I used to speedrun YS 1 and 2. Oh, sorry, not 2. Sorry, just one. I played YS 1 and 2. I played YS Origins, and I played a little bit of YS 7. Just a tiny bit. And I gotta say, the series, I have the whole series on Steam. Eventually I'll get into them. I'm currently on YS Origins. But yeah, the game is really hard. The games are really hard. All the boss fights really, they really sell the entire series. Like, I don't know what they do, but they work really hard on these bosses. They work really hard. You know what I mean? If you're a YS fan or a Yeast fan, you know what I mean. They are well designed bosses. And they're also really hard to figure out. That's the most interesting part, is that each boss is literally a puzzle. You have to find out like where to hit them at, how to hit them. Like, seriously, like, it's that annoying. And there's also some aspects where you have to be leveled up, or you have to have a specific weapon leveled up and things like that. There's just so many different things, but it's mostly just RPG based difficulty usually. Once you're like leveled up, if you max level, it's not that bad. Like, if you just try to like level up as much as possible, it's not that bad of an experience. But if you don't, it's really difficult. That's all I have to say about that one. Anyway, at number 2, we have the Persona series. Yes, I'm gonna have to bring another RPG in here. Again, this is another thing where it's like, oh, well, you can just level up and the bosses are really easy. But let's say you don't level up. That's what I'm saying. If you don't level up in Persona and you go straight to a boss, they're gonna give you a run for your money. It's one of the hardest bosses ever. It's one of the hardest game series. Like when it comes to boss fights, they're very like intelligent boss fights. You really have to think outside the box quite a bit sometimes, or you have to be prepared. Usually, that's what makes it easier, is when you're prepared. And for some odd reason, I come surprisingly prepared sometimes on these fights. Like I'll be doing I'll be doing some vegetable farming or something. Like for example, Persona 4, I would do some vegetable farming, have some items from the vegetables, like they're called like these like tomato souls and stuff, and all of a sudden, like, you know, during the fight on the boss, I would be low HP, and then, oh, the tomato souls are here to save the day with the SP. Like, they give you SP, which is like magic points, basically. And they come to save the day at the end of the day. And that's what I say, like, little things like that, like little things you do before you fight these bosses really change the difficulty of the game. But if you don't do all this stuff, if you just go straight into these bosses, they're like the most hardest things of all time. In my opinion. But again, there's other games that I could think of that are really difficult, or series I can really think of, like Final Fantasy series. I could put that on here too. That's a pretty crazy series, dude. There's a lot of like games that are really hard, but they're not really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like series wise. You know, it's funny. I didn't even put Dark Souls on here. I feel bad. Maybe I should put Dark Souls. You know what? Let's just say number 2 is Dark Souls, and just kind of bump like whatever else. Dark Souls series is also insane too. I forgot to put that because I want the number 1. It's I Want to Be the Guy fan games, guys. I Want to Be the Guy fan games is my number 1 most difficult game series I've ever played. But yeah, Dark Souls, I give it number 2. My bad. That's my bad. Like I said, whatever I had thought of, I forgot about Dark Souls. Somehow I forgot about Dark Souls. That is a ridiculous series of games. And you know why. I don't even have to even explain it. But anyway, I Want to Be the Guy fan games is one of the hardest games it's one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. And I played a lot of games. And yeah, I Want to Be the Guy fan games makes Dark Souls look easy. Like literally, I'm serious. If you've ever played I Want to Be the Guy fan games, you know what I'm talking about. The platform is insane. The bosses are insane. There's like it's basically like bullet hell, but it's like it's at a higher level. It's like ridiculous. It's precision platforming to the max. If you played I Want to Kill the Camellia 3, for example, if you want to try one of the hardest fan games, I Want to Kill the Camellia 3. K-A-M Camellia. K-A-M-I-L-I-A. Camellia 3. I want to Kill the Camellia 3. Play that game. Find it. You can find it as long as you know the name. You can find the download link. It's a free game, by the way. It's free. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. Seriously, like, if you want to try something hard, try that. And let me know in the comments if you try it. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna try it. I kid you not. That game will give, dude. It took me, I kid you not. It took me like a couple months to beat the first boss of the entire game, and the game is long. That game is very long. Currently, I'm on the boss rush section of the game, which is like way far in. It's like halfway, basically, of the game. It's the half point of the game, the gatekeeping area, where you gotta fight the 4 bosses that are in the way. The 4 devas is what it's called. Or you can just go watch a video on I Want to Kill the Camellia 3. You'll know what I mean and why it's so difficult. But yeah, I Want to Be the Guy fan games in general, there's a lot of them, by the way, that are really hard. That's why I say that's a good series, in my opinion. If you're looking for really difficult stuff, I Want to Be the Guy fan games is definitely number 1 at it. And that's all I have to say for now, guys. Sorry for not adding Dark Souls. I feel kind of bad. That's a really hard series. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me know in the comments below what your hardest game series are. And with that, without further ado, y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Perfect timing. It's about 10 minutes. Peace out. Meow.